Welcome to the Westcott Crochet channel and welcome to the pineapple cardigan. When I saw this yarn colour, I thought pineapple. I'm very much looking forward to summer and this is a nice light cover up when summer ain't been so summery. If you like the look of this one, do let me know by tapping the like button. If you want to see more projects, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Any yarn recommending a 4mm hook will create a similar result. I used a 5mm hook, a tape measure, stitch markers and a yarn needle to weave in my ends. This card is made up of 5 panels. The panels are all worked up in the pineapple stitch. The stitch calls for multiples of 15 stitches. Where it's not possible to work a full 15 stitches, any extra are worked in the mesh stitch. I'll start by demonstrating how to work the pineapple pattern and the 2 options that there are for that. So please bear with me, watch the 2 demonstrations the whole way through. After that, I'll explain what you need to do to form the cardigan in terms of what panels you need to make up and how to measure for those. Finally, I'll show you how to work all the panels together to form the finished cardigan. I'm just going to demonstrate now a 3 pineapple repeat. So 3 complete pineapples in a row. Each pineapple needs 15 stitches. So I need 45 chains. I have 45 chains. I'm going to chain an extra one to turn. And I'm going to work a row of single crochet just to set up for the pineapples. It's my 45 single crochets. I'm going to start each round, or each row, sorry, with a standing double crochet. The alternative is to chain 3. I'll just show you the standing double. I turn at the end of the last row, I do not chain 1. I pull up my yarn to about the height of a double crochet. I twist the loop around my hook to form a loop. Keep hold of it. In through the stitch, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 and then yarn over through the second 2 for the standing double. I'll just show you that again. So at the end of the last row, turn without chaining, pull out the yarn, the loops to the size of a double crochet, wrap it around, keep hold, in through the stitch, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1. Alternative, as I say, is chain 3 into the next stitch, another double. So if you're chaining 3, do not also work into that same stitch. That counts as your first stitch. So into the next one, you'd put your next double. Into the next one, a double. So I've got 3 doubles to start this one. Chain 2 and skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into number 5, yarn over twice and make a treble. Make another one. So yarn over twice, pull through, yarn over, pull through once, twice, 3 times. I'm going to make 7 all in the same stitch. And that's 7. I do recommend you count them because if you mess up, you don't realise until you've gone all the way there and all the way back, and then you've got to take it all back out again. So there's 7, and that forms the base of the pineapple. And then chaining 2, skipping 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, into the 5th, make a double crochet. And then into the next 5 stitches, I'll make 5 more. then I'll chain 2, I'll skip 4, and then I'll make another 7 treble crochets into that 5th stitch. Again, I'm just going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to make sure. Chain 2, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work 6 double crochets in the next 6 stitches. Chain 2, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, into the 5th, making 7 treble crochets, another pineapple base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 2, skip 4, 3 stitches left, 3 double crochets. If at this point I were working an extra shell, I'd carry on with 6 double crochets at this point and work another shell and then end with the 3. So basically it's the shell for the base of the pineapple and then 6 double crochets in between, and there's 3 at either end in this row. So turning for the next row, just going to work a standing double again, and then I'm going to make another double into the next stitch along. So just 2 to start this row, chain 2, and I'm going to work extensions on this shell. So it's double crochet on top of the top of the first treble, and chain 1, double crochet on top of the second treble, chain 1. I'm going to work a double crochet on top of every treble with a chain 1 in between. That's the last one. Chain 2, and I've got my 6 double crochet. I'm going to put 4 in the center 4, so missing the first one, starting into the second one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last one's empty. So now I chain 2 and repeat what I just did over here. So double on top of the treble, chain 1, double on top of the treble, chain 1. That's the last one. Chain 2, another 6, 4 into the center 4 doubles, and 4, leaving the 2 outer stitches empty. Chain 2, third shell, double crochet on top of the treble, chain 1, and same again all the way around the shell. Last one, chain 2. Again, if you're working more shells, you're going back to your 4 on top of 6 and then work your extra shell. Here I'm just going to put 2 in the end as I started in the beginning. So skip the first one, double crochet into number 2, double crochet into number 3, the last one. So I've got 2 at the end. That's what the end of row 2 looks like. On to row 3. Row 3, I'm not counting the single crochet row, it's just row 3 of pineapple stitch. Starting with a standing double. Oops, or a chain 3 obviously. And then a second double into the stitch next door. So just 2 again to start this row. Chain 2. And now I'm working into the chain 1 spaces from the extensions from the previous row. So go into the first space with my hook, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops for a single crochet. And then I'm going to chain 3 into the next space, single crochet, chain 3. I'm going to do that for every space. And that's the last one. And what I've done there is I've created little humps on the top of my pineapple. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little humps. And on each pass, it's going to be 1 less. So the next row will be 4, the next row 3, the next row 2, the next row 1, and then I'm back to a fresh pineapple. So there we have 5. Chain 2, and I'm going to just make 2 double crochets into the center 2. So going from 4 to 2, missing the outer stitches. Chain 2 and work the humps again on the next pineapple. So in through first space, single crochet, chain 3, in through the next space, single crochet, chain 3. And the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little humps. Chain 2, 2 double crochets in the center, 2. Chain 2, more humps. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 humps. So I'm at the end. Again, if you're working another pineapple, you're at this point where you put your 2 on top of your 4 and then work your extra pineapple. I'm here at the end, so I'm going to chain 2 and work my last 2 double crochets. That's row 3. For row 4, it's actually a repeat of row 3. So I'm going to start with 2. I'm going to work my bumps. 2 there in the middle, work the bumps, 2 in the middle, work the bumps, and 2 at the end. Except obviously that the bumps will reduce in number by 1. So standing double for me. Double in the next one, chain 2 and work the bumps. Chain 2. So the bumps have gone down to 4. 2 on top of these 2 doubles. Chain 2. Work my bumps. Then I'm doubles again, bumps again, finishing up with 2. So row 4, 5, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, I'm going to be reducing the bumps, but I'm also going to be increasing the in-between sections because we need the curve to work as well. So starting with the standing double for row 5. A double in the next stitch and a second double in that same stitch. So I'm up to 3. Then I'll chain 2 and work my bumps. And I've got 3. Chain 2, and where I have 2 in the middle, I'm going to put 2 stitches in each to make it 4. Two doubles and 2 more doubles. Chain 2, work my bumps, single and chain 3 for each. So I've got 3 again. Chain 2, double up on my doubles, 2 in each. Up to 4. Chain 2, bumps again. And I'm at the end. So chain 2, and I put 2 into stitch number 1 to mirror what happened at the start. And just 1 into the last stitch. Doubles. There we go. Row number 6. Start with the standing double. Two more stitches into the next 2 stitches. Doubles. And then an extra into that last stitch. So now I have 4 doubles at the beginning. Chain 2, on with the bumps. Down to just 2 now. chain 2, and here where I have 4 I need to turn that into 6. I'm going to put 2 into number 1, doubles, so double doubles, 2 into the next 2 stitches, 1 in each. I've now got 4, and into the last one I put 2, so there's my 6. And you can see now that these extra stitches are curving around the pineapple section. Chain 2, back to bumps, reducing my 3 to 2, bumps that is, not chains, the chains are still 3. So that's the 2, chain 2, again making 4 become 6, so 2 in the first one, 1, 1, 2 in the last one. Chain 2, work the last set of bumps. Two, and then I'm at the end, so I need to put 2 stitches into stitch number 1, so 2 doubles, and 1 each for the last 2. Up to 4. So where am I now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row 7. Start with the standing double or the chain 3. And I'm making now 5. So 1 in the next 3. So I have 4, extra 1 in that last stitch to make 5. Yeah. Chain 2, bumps to reduce. So single into the gap, 3 chains, single into the gap, and that's it. 1 bump now. Chain 2, 6 become 8 for the centre, so 2 in the first stitch, one each to the end, and into the last stitch I'll make 2 doubles. Now I have 8. Chain 2, work my bump as it is, not bumps. So single into there, chain 3 for the pump, single onto the other side. There's my last bump. Chain 2, 6 become 8, so 2 into the first, two into the last. Eight. Chain 2, work the bump, chain 2, 2 into stitch number 1, doubles that is, and one in each to the end. Okay, nearly there. Moving on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Row 8, keep losing track. Standing double. Oh, chain 3. Work all of the stitches. Doubles on top of doubles. Add an extra one into the last one. The yarn's gone bad again. It's gone rogue. Now I have 6. Chain 2. And I'm just going to single crochet into my bump at the top here, top of my pineapple. Chain 2 again. And work the centre. So 2 in the first. Doubles. 1 in each all the way across. And 2 at the end. One. And the second one to finish that section. I now have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in the middle. Chain 2, single crochet into the space, the bump, chain 2 again, work in the center, so 2 doubles to start, and 2 doubles to end. There's the second one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Chain 2, single crochet on top of my bump, chain 2, finishing off my row with 2 to start with, 2 doubles in the first stitch, 1 in each to close. Six at this end. Row 9. Standing double. One stitch in each to the end of this section, where I will double up. There's the last stitch, 2 into there. I now have 7. Chain 2. Nothing to do with the pineapple on this row. Straight over to these doubles. And I put 2 into the first one. And close off that pineapple. 1 stitch in each all the way along this section. I should have 12 at the end when I add 2. one, and the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Chain 2. Need 12 more, 2 at the beginning, 2 at the end, 10 in the middle, no, 8 in the middle. Two at the end. Chain 2, 2 to start, 5 more. To make 7. Now I have a full set of pineapples. So now I'm going to show you how I restart the sequence. So back to row 1 essentially, but obviously not from the same single crochet row. So as always, I'm going to start with a standing double. And I'm going to make 2 more doubles into the next 2 stitches and chain 2. Matches what happened here. Then I work a fan after I've skipped 4 stitches. These are my 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I make my fan into this space with 7 trebles. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chaining 2. Down here, row 1, I had 6 double crochet. I skipped 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 into number 5, the 5th stitch, sorry. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches into number 5. I'm going to make 2 doubles. I'm going to try to, oh, there we go. And then I'm going to make 2 more into the next 2 stitches. And then I'm going to double up on this next stitch and put 2. So that creates my 6 and leaves 4 empty on the other side. So I can chain 2, work another fan, 7 trebles. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 2. Skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 into number 5. 2 into the next 2, 1 in each. Double in this one to make my 6. Skipping 4. Chaining 2. Last fan for me, this batch of 3. And that should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 2. Skip 4, and I've got 3 stitches left to finish with doubles. And that's where I am now. So just repeating everything that's happened before now. So there's 6 stitches there, I have 6 stitches here. Next row I will have 4 here by skipping the first and last up here. And similarly the start mirrors as well. So 2 for the next start. Then I'll work the fan extensions, 4 for the centre, fan extensions, 4, and so on, and then reduce to 2, 2, up to 4, up to 6, up to 8, 10, 12, and back to the start again. So I've just shown what happens when your stitch count divides neatly into 15 and you can work a full row of pineapples. When it doesn't, and you've only got enough for, say, for instance, me on the front panel, I've got enough for 1 pineapple. I've got 25 stitches. My front panel is exactly 1/3 the width of the back panel. I've got 25 stitches, so that's 15 for 1 pineapple and 10 spare. Now I could just add on an extra 5 and kind of fudge it that way, but I'm just going to show you anyway what happens, the alternative for doing that. So I've got 5 at one side, I've got 15 for the pineapple, 5 at the other side. So I've worked my chain obviously and done a row of single crochet already. And this is what I do with my 5 stitches. So however many you've got at the other side of your pineapple section, this is what you do. So I'm going to work the standing double. I'm going to chain 1. That's 2 stitches. Skipping the stitch at the base into the next one. Double crochet. Chain 1. Skip a stitch into the next one. Double crochet. And that's my 5 stitches used up with mesh stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I start the pattern. Pattern calls for 3 double crochets to begin with, so I start right from here. So I've effectively got 4, but this first one doesn't form part of the pattern. That's just me using up my extra stitches. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 into number 5 with my 7 treble stitches to form the base of my pineapple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, as I said, I've only got room for 1 pineapple, this front panel. So I've no middle section to work. I'm just going to go and close off with the end section. So for me, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 missed, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm left with 5. So I'll work my mesh. Double, chain 1, skip 1, double, oops, dropped out, chain 1, skip 1, double. So if I had 6 spare at the other side, well, I'd have 12, so really I'd just go for an extra pineapple. But just for argument's sake, if I had 6 spare at the side, I'd have double space, double space, double, and then a space, and then I'd start the pattern. So it's just an extra chain 1 basically. So that's what that looks like with the mesh stitch on either side. So for round 2, I again start by working my 5 extra stitches, sort of surplus as far as the pineapple pattern is concerned. So get rid of those. That's 5. Then the pattern calls for 2 double crochets, so into the first one with 1, into the second with 2, and I leave the third stitch empty. Chain 2, and then I go to build up the pineapple again. So there's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, all the way around this little fan. And again, I've no middle section to work, so I'm just going to close off, skip the first stitch, 2 doubles to close off the round, the row, as far as the pattern goes. And then I've just got my 5 stitches again to work my mesh. So I just need to keep in mind that these 5 stitches are not part of the pattern. They're just to be worked separately to use up with mesh. So there we go. Next row, start with my mesh. And that's that. I've now got 2 stitches and I need to work 2 stitches, so 1 on top of each. Chain 2, and I'm making the bumps now. So single crochet into the space, chain 3, single crochet into the space, chain 3. Last one, and chain 2, and then I'm back to closing off, so 2 doubles. And then I work my mesh. And that's what that looks like. Next row, mesh. I need 2 doubles again for the pattern. Chain 2, work the bumps. Chain 2, and 2 doubles to finish the pattern. And mesh to finish the row. And again, mesh to start. Next I need 3. So I do the 2 on top of the first 2. And an extra 1 in that last stitch. So yes, I've got 4, but only these 3 form part of the pattern. Chain 2, and work the bumps. Chain 2, 2 in the first stitch, one each, well, one for the next one, so that's 3 for the pattern, and then finishing up with mesh. Turning again, here's my patterns part. I work the 3, and then I put an extra one in the third. So I've now got 4 before after my mesh. Chain 2, back to bumps. Oops, carried away. That's it for bumps. Take one of those out. So you need chain 2. 2 in the first one. One each in the next 2. And then mesh. Turn and mesh. Back to the pattern, work the 4. Add an extra one in the 4th to make 5. Chain 2 and the bump. Chain 2, double in the first stitch, four more, sorry, 3 more, 2, 3 to make 5, and then mesh to finish the row. Mesh starts the row. And then I'm onto the pattern again. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Work those 5 and put an extra one along with the 5th. The pattern calls for 6. Chain 2, didn't put the extra one in, unchain 2. 2, 4, 6, and then my extra. Chain 2 now. Single crochet on top of the hump. Chain 2, 2 to start, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and mesh to finish. So the last one, That's my mesh, and I've got 6 stitches. I'm going to make them into 7 by adding the extra one into the last stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then 7 goes in there with him as well. Same stitch. Now I have 7. Chain 2, skip over the pineapple straight to here with 2 stitches into the first one. Five more. And mesh. And that's what one pineapple looks like with the mesh on either side. So from here to restart the next pineapple, again I'd start with the mesh for my 5 stitches, and then I'm back to the pattern down here. So 3 double crochets on top of those 3, skip the next 4, 7 trebles in the gap after I've chained 2, chain 2 on the other side, skip 4, 3 double crochets, mesh to the end, and then just keep repeating the rows. Once you've worked the panel that you need size wise, this is instantly a sleeve for me. I'm just going to show you how to join off at the end to finish off the pineapple pattern. So as I said, this is a sleeve for me. I've got 4 pineapples wide and I'm 4 pineapples tall. It measures 41 centimetres. Gone for quite a wide sleeve, so folded in half. That's what it will look like. But yeah, just need to finish off the last row. So the last row I did was the row where it's all doubles and there's the chain 2. So ending the pineapple. So grab my hook, pop it back in. So I'm going to untangle my yarn first, then I'm going to chain 1 to turn in this instance, because I'm going single crochet to finish the edge. So into the first stitch and into each of these 7 stitches, so 6 more. So that's 7. Into the 7th stitch I'm going to make another one. This is just to even the stitch count out at the top from all the changes that we've been doing here. On the chain 2 space, 2 single crochets just right into the space. Pick up on the other side and just 1 stitch in each. And I'm going to put 1 stitch in each everywhere, except obviously the chain 2 space is 2 in the space, everywhere except for the 7th stitch on this side and the first stitch of the 7 on this side, where I'll put again 2, then 1 in each. So I'll just work my way all the way across doing that. At the end I can chain 1 and cut. Where I have mesh, there's a single crochet on top of the double crochet, a single crochet in the space, single crochet on top of the double, single in the space, for as many as you've got. It's my finished edge. The aim of the game is to get back to your original stitch count, or as near as you can. With the single pineapple, I didn't put the extra stitches in, I just went with one in each, and that got me back to, well, as close as I could to the original stitch count. So I've worked all of my panels, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total. Back, 2 sides, 2 sleeves. I've attached one of the front panels and one of the sleeves. I'm going to show you what to do over on the other side. Just to give you my numbers, I measured around the widest part of my body, divided that by 5, multiplied that answer by 3. That gave me the width of my panel. I added on a few extra stitches to make it up to 75, which gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 complete pineapples. So I've worked 5 across. I've worked 6 pineapples up. A pineapple is now a unit of measurement. So 5 across for me, 6 deep. If you want a little extra room, if you don't want such a tight fit, then add on some extra stitches and either work them in mesh or add on enough to get an extra pineapple. So that was my back panel. My front panel was 1/3 the width of the back panel. So 75 stitches for the back, 25 for the front. And I have another one of those here to attach in a minute. And my sleeve was 4 by 4 pineapples. I'll just show you how to attach them, starting with the front panel to the back. So to join the panels, as I say, starting with the shoulders, find your favourite side, whichever one that is. They both look ever so slightly different. So whichever side you choose as your favourite side, make sure that that's the same side that you choose each time. And have those sides facing each other so that you can work the seam on the inside. I'm literally just going to single crochet across the top of the shoulder, matching stitch to stitch. So I'll just orientate myself. I'm going to start from the outer edge. So into both stitches in the corner, on with a slip knot, pull it through, or not, try again, pull it through, and chain 1 to secure that. I'm also going to just grab up all my ends at the same time and single crochet them in. So in through that first stitch again, on both sides. Did I get the other one? Nope. Yes, got it. Okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, single crochet. Again, sorry, you can't see with all these tail ends. In through both sides, sandwich those into the middle, and single crochet around the whole lot. Again, just move those out of the way so you can see. In through the first stitch, in through the next stitch on the other side, and single crochet. I'm going to do that for my 25. I think I ended up with 26 actually on this front panel, but that's fine. And that'll be me all seamed up on that side. So just chain 1 and cut at the end. My completed shoulder seam. That's what it looks like on the right side, just the important side. So next I'm going to work on a sleeve. Here's my sleeve panel. I've still got my yarn attached. I didn't bother to cut that, so if not, just grab a slip knot and pop that on. This is my right side, so I'm going to fold that in to face each other. This is the length, and I'm going to seam up down this length to create a tube. So at the end of each row, I've got, the first one is the single crochet row I've just worked to finish off the panel. Then I've got double crochets at the end. I'm going to work 2 single crochets into each double to seam up all the way down. Grab my hook, starting as I mentioned into the first row, which is a single crochet row. Just drive your way in through there. on the slip knot, or in my case the working yarn that I've got still attached, pull it through, chain 1 to secure. Into that same stitch I'm going to make my first single crochet, and then all the way down, making sure that I match stitch to stitch on both sides. So in through my first double once, aim for the center roughly, and single crochet. Then I'm going to go for the bottom, in through the same stitch, again on the other side, in through the same stitch at the bottom, and single crochet. Next row is here, in through the middle, just anywhere you can, in through the middle on the other side, single crochet. Aim for the bottom, and on the other side, same row, bottom of that stitch, and that's what I'm going to do the whole way down. So each row 2 stitches in each, taking up both sides at the same time. I'll be back when I get to the bottom. There's my finished seam. I now have a tube. Going back to the main body of the cardigan, with my front panel and my back panel, I'm going to join the sleeve in here, making sure that I'm joining with the tops of the pineapples, not the bottoms, because that's where I started. That's the end of the sleeve. The tops is the start. So I'm actually going to attach it all the way around. The seam goes at the bottom. The way I'm going to do this is I count how many stitches I have around my sleeve, divide that by 2, and I'm going to count down the half number of stitches, bearing in mind I'm going to put 2 stitches into each double crochet. For my sleeve I've got 60 stitches, so 30 is half of that. I need 30 single crochets around my sleeve to join it. And here I have mesh, so I'm literally just going to put 2 around each space. So I don't need to edge that. I'm going to edge the double crochet row. So if you've got double crochets on both rows, I recommend you edge both rows. It just makes attaching the sleeve a lot easier to go single crochet to single crochet attachment rather than trying to do singles to doubles. If you can go singles to doubles, then go for your life. I'm just going to make it a little bit easier on myself by edging it first. So I've got the seam at the top, so I'm going to put 1 single crochet in there. I've marked out 15 rows so that I can put 2 at the end of each row into each double crochet. So I'll have 31 in total, but that's fine because I'm going to join with the bottom 2 on either side. So as I say, if you've got double crochets on both sides, then edge both sides or freestyle it and just go single crochets to doubles. If you're edging both sides, start here and work up and around to here. I'm going to start here and just edge this one side. I've inserted my hook right at the top shoulder seam, popped on a slip knot, pulled that through, chained 1 to secure. My first single crochet is going to be the single crochet row that I seamed up with. So there's 1. And then for the others, double crochet rows, I'm going to just aim for the middle. Whoops, if I can get through. And I'm going to just put 2. It can go into the same spot in this instance because I'm not making a seam, so just now making a seam into these stitches, so it's not as essential that they be so evenly spaced out. So 1, 2 in the next one, next row, 2 in there. Oops. It'll let me through. There we go. And then a second one. and just work that all the way down to where I've marked. And that's my last row. Next row, 2 in there, and so on. Okay, I've edged my double crochet side, 31 stitches, so 15 rows of double crochets, 2 stitches in each double crochet, plus a seam stitch, so that's 1 there, down at the bottom. So I'm going to go in. As I mentioned, I've got a mesh row, so I didn't edge that row. If I had the double crochet row, I would edge that row also. But with the mesh, I'm just going to work right around the entire stitch, so that's easy enough to do. Insert my hook in through the bottom of the 15th row on this side, which I'd already marked. Oops, put my yarn on the right side to start with, be helpful. And just pull through a slip knot. And now I'm joined on both sides. Let's get rid of these because they're now in the way. Gone. And I'm just going to join up the sleeve to this opening. As I mentioned, my first stitch is extra, so just turning around. So I'm going to go in on both, so round my mesh, in the first stitch, and single crochet. Then I grab my sleeve and get that lined up to join. Again, making sure that I've got this seam at the bottom, not at the shoulder side, the sleeve seam that is, and I've got the pineapple tops at this end where I'm joining it. So I locate my first stitch. I'm going to go around through my mesh, or in through the first stitch on this side, if that were the case, in through the first stitch on my sleeve, and single crochet. Next mesh, next stitch, same mesh, next stitch, next mesh, next stitch. So obviously if I've got stitches on the mesh side, I'm doing stitch to stitch. As it is, I'm just working 2 in each gap and working around the last stitch. So I'm going to work that way the whole way up, and then when I get round to the other side, I'm matching stitch to stitch. Or if you didn't do the edging stitch, then you're going stitch on your sleeve to every double, 2 stitches on the sleeve to every double. I'll meet you back round when I've attached all the way around. That's my sleeve attached. I've gone all the way up on one side, over the top, all the way down the other side, and that's all joined up now. That's what it looks like on the right side. Oops. All the way around. I've left my yarn attached because I'm going to now work the side seam. So I'll just turn myself back inside out. And I'm going to work the side seam down to the points where I've marked. I'm not going to seam up the entire side. That's just personal choice. Either you can go all the way down to the bottom, or you can leave a section unjoined, like I've done over on the other side. So I've marked where I'm going to join, and again, where I've got the double crochet edge, I'm going to just go along with single crochet just to ease the joining. Here I've got mesh, so I'm just going to again go 2 in each, or around each double post. I've worked my edge. I've inserted my hook into the corresponding point on the opposite side. I'm going to slip stitch to join those two. I can get rid of my stitch markers and I'm ready to join. Spun all the way around. This is the section that I'm joining. In through my mesh on one side, in through the first stitch I've just created on the other side, and single crochet. Same mesh again, next stitch along, and just work that way the whole way through. So 2 in each mesh, 1 stitch at a time on the other side. We're back at the top. I'm all the way at the top. There's my seam. I'm just going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. It's just an altogether easier way to join a double crochet edge. Sometimes I'm not always in the mood to fight with the pushing through of the double crochet edge and seaming at the same time, so that makes it a little bit easier. As I say, if you want to go straight for it and do the double crochet to double crochet, by all means go ahead and do that, or you could join with a yarn needle, whatever's your easiest method. Here's my seam on the right side. I've gone just over halfway down and I've left the bottom 2 pineapples unseamed. Okay, next job. I have my hook in, the corner stitch, this bottom inward edge, inner edge, pull through a slip knot, chain 1 to secure. I'm going to single crochet all the way around the inner edge, including the back, and back down the other side. I have net stitch, so I'm just going to put 2 in each after this initial single crochet for this first row. So then 2 in each around each bar. If you're working with double crochet, obviously 2 per double crochet as usual. Let's have a little demo. So just 2 around the outside and hop into the next one, 2 in there. Oops. And just keep going all the way around, so I'm just working in a tail end whilst I do so. So 2, 2, 2 all the way around, up the back, down the other side. Going all the way around at this other side now. From here I'm just going to keep doing that, going round and round and round and round for a few rows. I'm not sure how many yet. I'll let you know when I come back. So chain 1 to turn, and just single crochet, whoops, spin around first, 1 stitch in each. Other end, chain 1 to turn, come back again and do the same. As I say, I'll let you know how many rounds I do when I come back. I worked 7 rows on the front here. At this point you can either add a button or 2 and maybe do a chain loop to fasten it. Me, I like a belt, so that's what I made. I'll show you how I made this in a much smaller version, so you don't need to see me do the whole thing. Simple enough. It's just 2 rows of net edged in single crochet. So quick demo on the belt. I've chained 9. In reality I chained 159 for my belt, so 9 because I need an uneven number. I'm just going to work a small section here. So I start with a fake double, a standing double, whoops, through the back loop. Don't let me. There we go. Yarn over through the 2, yarn over through the 2. chain one, skip the next bump, back bump, double crochet in the one after that, chain one, skip a bump, double crochet in the one after, just working the net stitch all the way down. So chain one, skip one, and one in the last one. That's the row one, and obviously I did that for the full 159 stitches, the full length. Then I turn, work another standing double, and a chain one into the top of the last one, the last double, make another double, chain one, double on top of the last double, all the way to the end. One more, make sure that I miss the chain one and work the top of the last stitch. So there we go, there's my small belt start. So I'll just get some more yarn, there we go. Alright, so from here I went round the edge with single crochet. So I'm just going to chain one there, and then I put 1, 2, 3 around the corner, 1, 2 for the side, next one, 1, 2 for the side, 3 for the corner, and 2 around the other side. And then just 2 around the side in this space, chain one space over each. So here I am at the end again, obviously, because it's a shorter version. 1, 2 this side, 3 around the corner, 2 around the flat side, I'm just trying to weave in a tail end. There's no real reason for that because this isn't even the real thing. On to the next section. Oops, did I do the right one there? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yeah. 2 around here, 3 for the corner, and 2. Two into the next one, another 2, last 2 for me, and then I pull up a bit of yarn, cut off, and pull that through the last stitch. I'm going to go into this stitch here, not the one that I just started there, the first stitch, pull that through, up through the stitch that I just came out of. Pull that down through the centre of there. And that just creates a nice little fake stitch to end off with. And then I just weave that in, hide it down the back. And that's all I did, but obviously a lot longer. I'm just going to make the simplest little belt loop. I've just inserted my hook along the seam, just where I want my belt loop to sit. I've gone in through the actual seam just to get a really good firm hold. I'm just going to attach my yarn with a slip knot. Chain one to secure, pull that tight. I'm going to chain 6 and I'm going to attach 3 rows up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And similarly, I'm just going to go through here into the seam, just grab up some loops, and then I'm going to yarn over and try and slip stitch through. There we go. And then chain 1 to secure and cut my yarn. And that's it. I'll just weave those through and hide the ends. I've also had a bit of yarn left, so I went round the edge where I didn't join up the seam. It's not essential, it's just something I thought I'd do. But you know how that works. 2 stitches for each double crochet. I did the same on the other side obviously as well. Just got to weave in a whole bunch of ends now and then I'm done. Do all of that and you'll have one of these. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. A huge thank you to those who already have, and to everyone, thank you for watching today.